Canada's Sports Hall of Fame and the Guelph Games bring you My Canadian Moment, uniting through sport.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to have a chance to talk about my Canadian moment. As a kid growing up in Ottawa in the 60s, there were not an awful lot of opportunities to enjoy professional sports. The only game in town was CFL football, and it was the Ottawa Rough Riders. The 67s had not yet started to play junior hockey, and the Ottawa Senators had not come back. And so growing up in a family where I loved sports, but we didn't have a lot of money, I would want to go and see the Rough Riders play on the weekends. And I remember that saying to my mom, I'd get up on a Saturday morning and get on my bike, and she'd say, "Where are you going?" And I'd say, "I'm going to watch the Riders game." And she said, "How are you going to do that? You don't have a ticket." I said, "Well, I'm going to stand on the Bank Street Bridge over the Rideau Canal at the west end of Lansdowne Park and watch my hero, Russ Jackson, play football." And in the 60s, in the early 60s, the Ottawa Rough Riders made it to the Grey Cup in the early 60s and lost. But then in 68, they won. And I remember thinking, this quarterback, Russ Jackson, he's my hero. I love football. In fact, he did such a great job as what I believe is the best Canadian football player ever, certainly the best Canadian quarterback ever. He did a great job of working in the community. He was a high school teacher, a math teacher to start with, and then he went on to become a vice principal, and I believe eventually a principal. And there was a rumor that he moved into our neighborhood. So I remember bicycling around like a madman, trying to see somebody throwing a football around, thinking that might be Russ Jackson, or that might be Russ Jackson. And I guess today I'd get arrested for stalking, but in those days it was hero worship. I thought this guy was amazing. And so I'd go and watch the football games on my bike, and my mom would say, "Just be home for dinner." Boy, have times changed. And so I remember leading up to 1968, we won the Grey Cup in 68. And then at the beginning of the season in 69, Russ Jackson said, "I think I'm going to retire this year." And the whole city of Ottawa went into mourning and fear. And he had great players around him, Sleeman Campbell and Whit Tucker, Ronnie Stewart, people like that. It was a great team. And so we watched all year long, but my moment was the Grey Cup in 1969. My dad, up until that point, we had black and white TV, and so all the games were in black and white. But for the Grey Cup, because Ottawa was in it, he went out and bought a small color TV. And so I remember crowding around the TV in 1969, November, I guess it was, for the Grey Cup in Montreal. And Ottawa was playing Saskatchewan. Now, only in Canada could you have two teams with the same last name. But anyway, the Rough Riders were playing the Rough Riders. But my hero, Russ Jackson, put on a real clinic, and the Riders won the Grey Cup. Ottawa went crazy, I went crazy, and that's my Canadian moment.
This moment brought to you by AMJ Campbell. Share your favorite Canadian sport moment. Use hashtag MyCanadianMoment, uniting through sport.